I'm thrilled to be able to say to you that the board have unanimously agreed that we should offer you the job, but on the basis that you accept the job.
Oh, there's no problems about that. I said before, I'm a coach.
That's a fantastic moment. And it's so great for the club to share that vision with all of us from inside the four walls. Well, we've now had 2 days to let it all sink in that Tasmania finally has its own AFL coach. It was a famous day on Monday, and it feels pretty real right now. I mean, we're still celebrating the fact that we have a new coach, but there's always those who can't or won't and still want to talk Tasmania down. Today, we'll look at what they're saying and try to understand why. But before we get to that, I just want to touch on Nathan Buckley. With all successful coaching appointments, there are always those who miss out. And Nathan Buckley seemed to be the front runner for such a long time. The media was reporting for at least a year that it was his job to lose. So I was very interested to see and hear how he took the news that he'd missed out. This is what he said on Fox Footy a couple of days ago.
So I think it's taken me a little bit of time to reflect because I was really keen on it. I was in on it. The passion that you've heard from Kenny, you sort of have to decide, if you're going to go for a job, you've got to decide that you're absolutely all in on it. And I was. And I absolutely respect the process that the Devils have run. I'm glad they found their man and they're really clear on that Kenny's the guy for them. And yeah, look, obviously Kenny's the right fit for Tassie, and good luck to them all. And I hope that goes really well. And I'm sure that they'll be a great fit.
He was all in, and you can see he's very disappointed. You can see that. But that's a very classy response from Bucks. He's got my respect for that. Well done, Bucks. But unfortunately, even in the excitement of the announcement of Tassie's first AFL coach, there are still some who always want to focus on the negatives. And one of those is at it again.
What I struggle to comprehend is that they have a coach without a licence. And the builders haven't come back from tender yet. So all I'm saying is there is a reason the AFL hasn't granted the permanent licence yet, Damo, and they're not going to do that before they sign a building contract. That is what the AFL is extremely worried about. And that is why they are anxious that we are heading into a draft in November, potentially without a full licence. Then we have a problem.
Why can't you just leave the negativity for, 1 day or 2 days? Can't you just celebrate the fact we have just appointed our first AFL coach? Just celebrate for 1 day. Then go back to your usual negative views on Tasmania. Anyway, but Sam McClure wasn't the worst. Even amongst all the hype on Saturday and Sunday that the Devils were about to announce their coach, the CEO of GWS wanted to have a pot shot at Tasmania. This is Dave Matthews.
I don't think it's a super attractive proposition to go and play at Tasmania. I mean, my own view is it's a nice place to visit. I don't think it's an unbelievable place to have a career and live. And I think that, some of the hold-ups in relation to the infrastructure, I know Brendan Gale probably wouldn't like me saying this, but we're in a competition. I mean, by the time they get a stadium in place, it's probably 3 years into their tenure. And by that stage, a player like Tom Green's probably 31, 32.
Not a good place to live. Very disrespectful comments, especially from the CEO of a rival club. That's just arrogance. Not a good place to live. Compared to where? Western Sydney? Look, I'm not going to insult the people of Western Sydney. I mean, I have friends and relatives who live there. But just the crime rates and the safety of your family, Tassie versus Western Sydney? Really? If you were Tom Green, actually weighing up staying at GWS or moving to Tassie, you might also take into consideration a few other things, like the size of the supporter base at the clubs and the size of the crowds. I mean, GWS memberships are the second lowest in the AFL. That's right, second lowest. And GWS home ground attendances, they are the lowest in the AFL, the worst, rock bottom. They've been around for 15 years and still so bad in those areas. I mean, Tassie will eclipse those memberships and crowds even before we start in the AFL. I mean, we're doing that in the VFL now. So why would you not want to go to Tassie if you were Tom Green? Big memberships, big supporter base, big home crowds, great lifestyle and extra money. And as far as Dave Matthews' comments about the delays in the Tassie Stadium go, I mean, the quick question to ask back is, why hasn't GWS been able to better manage the situation of their stadium? It's closed for 6 weeks, right in the middle of the footy season, right in prime time. It's closed for 6 weeks. And why is it closed? It's closed because there are cows and sheep running all over it for the Royal Easter show. True. That's pretty embarrassing that they haven't been able to sort that out after all these years. All right, that got me going a bit. So let me know what you think about all of that. All right, enough of all the negativity. There is so much to be happy about right now. Have you seen Ken Hinkley's first sit-down interview with the club? It's about 7 or 8 minutes long, but it's worth a watch. I've actually put together a short clip, about 90 seconds, of the bits I love the most from that interview. Here's my 90-second highlight clip. Enjoy.
Well, it's a huge moment for me. It's just a significant moment, and not just for me, it's for my whole family. We love the idea of being Tasmanians and getting this state into AFL football and dominating like we should. It's a recognition of a state's history in the game, and that's just so exciting to be a part of. And we understand it. It'll have its challenges. It'll have some hard times, but there'll be a lot of good times coming too. I've learned not to be off the record. I've learned not to be a dickhead as much. I see the way the crowds are turning up. Well, I think 15,000 at a VFL game. Well, I just got a feeling that this Tasmanian island that we've got down here is going to be a little bit more than that, and I don't think you want to come down and play in Tassie very often. But Tassie's got a footy background. The heartbeat of the community almost. If you go through the north, the northwest, the south, and instead of fighting each other now, we're actually going to be fighting against the bigger people over in the mainland. So we look forward to taking them on. There's going to be history here for us at the start when we become Tasmanian Football Club in the AFL. We're actually going to be a part of the AFL, the biggest competition that our country offers, and we're going to be our own standalone team, getting the opportunity to be proud of who we are and what we are. And it's going to be some sort of journey, and you want to be the people who say from the very start, I was there day one. And when we're celebrating after some big wins and some big victories and hopefully some premiership success as we go through the journey, it's going to be really important to have been a long time Tasmanian member right from the very start. And that will be a pretty special moment.
You can sense the passion he has. He's already calling himself a Tasmanian. I love it. I know coaching is about wins and finals and premierships, but it's also about exactly what he has: passion, pride, and character. I can see why the players absolutely love him. Let me know what your first impressions are of Ken. Good? Not impressed? Or still sitting on the fence? Okay, everybody, I'm going to wind it up there for today. But if you enjoyed today's episode, click the video on your screen now for our latest Tasmanian Devils news. And if you're new to our channel, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss our next video. You can subscribe by clicking the Devils Chat logo up here. I'll see you in the next one, and go Devils.